Hello and welcome to this episode of Demystified as we explore home cooking in a modern world. Hello, I'm Linda and I'm here with my friend Paul. Hey Paul.
I've got a bone to pick with you.
Oh my gosh, what? You said you had things to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So...
Oh, I feel like I'm in trouble.
No, some of you might have missed us last week.
Oh, no.
So this is my bone.
Oh,
Yeah, no. The whole thing can't fall apart because I'm not here. So, just for those of you, it's never going to see the light of day. Linda and Joel did a podcast because I couldn't be here last Friday. So our super regular Friday from the kitchen, well, the team me included, I just feel let down. I'm not upset. I'm not upset. I'm
just disappointed. No, I hate that. I know. I felt really bad on the night, but I wasn't happy with it, Paul. And I felt...
I know, but people don't just want to hear from me. They want to hear from you and Joel and know what you're up to. So,
was really...
No, I think you're making pathetic excuses and you need to push on and just try a bit harder.
I really am in trouble, guys. No, I felt last Friday when we did it that I felt... People.
So you're judging.
I was judging. What our content was.
No, you're judging what people might find interesting. You don't let them tell you, do you? So you at least give them the opportunity to listen to it, and then let us know if they thought it was rubbish, boring crap, or if it was nice to hear some different voices. Anyway. That's my spiel.
I did feel bad. I did worry about it all weekend. So
on behalf of everyone at Cooking with Steam, I'm very personally sorry that you didn't get to hear our last Friday's podcast.
Bad.
Good.
Because
and where's Joel? Hey?
It wasn't very good. And
how do you know?
Because it wasn't.
I didn't know we get to hear it.
No, you won't.
Yeah. So we're sorry that we haven't been here for a while, but it's not due to anything other than Linda and Joel's
I just felt it wasn't going to add anything to the listening value because we just didn't have anything
of course, because this
talk
is...
about. No, but there's always something. I always tell you this. Rant. I know, but I always say this to you, that even as long as I've known you, when we do talk about food and cooking, I always come away with something. And I felt that Friday night was just so terrible.
It's not about you.
It's
just
it's
so
all
selfish.
About me. It's all about me,
Come
Paul.
on.
Well,
anyway, let's move on.
We did miss you. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well,
we did miss you on that Friday, but things are different. We're back. You're back, and
I didn't really leave. I took a day, and I couldn't get out of.
I know you couldn't.
Other work that I had to do.
And normally we'd have plans for that. And Joel and I have done it before. Just saying. Before we move on to something, Joel and I have done it before without you.
Maybe someone can let us know when that was, because
I don't remember. It was in the early days when I think you were in overseas at the time.
Quite possibly. Anyway, let's move on. That's my rant.
I'm sorry. I am sorry, everybody, that I let the team down, but I felt it was terrible. So I worried about it.
I still have
weekend.
the opinion that you shouldn't be deciphering what the listening public should be.
Well, one day we might put it up in the bloopers. But anyway,
let's move on.
A bloopers tape.
So some reasonably positive stuff from people that have been using the site this week.
I know.
Which was kind of nice. So again, encouraging people, get in touch with us. And if you want to, you want some help with your cooking, whatever it might be, we try and get back to you as soon as possible. So we had, and I'm not going to mention surnames, but we had Larry from somewhere overseas. I'm not even sure because I can't decipher where his phone number is from. Had a few questions about roasting a pork. Now, Larry, our friend, I now call him our friend because he and I have been communicating reasonably regularly, made what I would say is a classic error in doing a first attempt at a combi steam cook-up with guests coming over.
Yes,
and was in a bit of a kerfuffle. And had a bit of a panicked tone to his email saying, I need some help, I've never done this before and I've got people coming over.
For lunch,
yeah. So
just
so we're all on the same page. If you're new to it, just do some cooking for your family first before you go around inviting people over, no matter how good the recipe is, anything like that. Turned out, though, that Larry had some fantastic results. His pork worked perfectly. I gave him a few extra tips along the way, so that was really good. And another person, Ray...
I thought Ray's was great too, yeah.
Yeah, Ray has now perfected... We did the tutorial on beef tenderloin, so he's now communicating with me, telling me how good he is at cooking beef, and basically said that it was better than anything he'd had before, which was really nice to hear. But I also sort of said to him in the second message, anything else you want to know, anything else you want to learn, or a tutorial topic or anything, let us know. And so he came back straight away and said that he wanted the ultimate chicken. So how to get the ultimate super flavourful, perfectly roasted chicken. So we've taken that on this week. I'm just editing the footage now. So although we have done a chicken tutorial before, this kind of involves a little bit of what you wanted to learn, because apparently it's all about you.
And thank goodness you finally realised that, Nancy.
Around the master stock discussion we've been recently have.
Yes.
And then I sort of thought, well, I'll combine what you want and what our friend Ray wants, and getting maybe that chicken side of things and master stock, and we'll put them together and make something that I pretty much knew would be a super flavourful chicken. So we've filmed that over the last couple of days, although it's not a super fast cooking method and not dissimilar to what we showed in the tutorial. Probably what's good is to understand the whole master stock conversation, what you can do with it. So it takes you through the whole process. So that'll be up hopefully next week, so keep an eye out for that. And you tasted the chicken today, so
and it
you
was
can
fantastic. And it wasn't just flavourful, it was moist.
Yeah.
The meat itself was super moist.
Yeah.
And the skin was super crispy and this great colour.
Yeah.
And when you and I were discussing master stocks on an earlier podcast, it got me really fired up, and thank you for providing some of the ingredients that I had trouble locating. But you
haven't attempted to locate them. I just brought them in for you. Let's be honest.
As you know, I'm not actually doing a lot of shopping, because now that we're back
in lockdown,
particularly in lockdown, and I just got the news a few minutes ago that we're 288.
Yeah.
Like, I know around the world that's low numbers, but for us in Victoria that's pretty big.
Yeah.
In Melbourne, but as you know, I haven't been doing a lot of the shopping, but it is a thing that. And we said this before as well, if we are in a situation where you're working from home or you're not able to get out as much, this is a great time to learn some of those cooking techniques and practice them, so that when you can invite people and family, friends back into your home, you can give them a wow moment.
Yeah, and you're going to have you'll have a master stock ready to go. And
that master stock and that chicken is great, and Ducky went off and got a chicken for me so that I can do this at home as well.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to watching it.
So now you're putting pressure on me to make sure I fulfill my end of getting the
wait.
video edited.
I'm asking
whereas
for
all
nothing
I asked you and Joel
else.
to do was do a 5-minute Friday from the Kitchen podcast, and it all fell to pieces.
But moving along from there.
Moving on.
But I'm not asking you, no, but I am looking forward to it, because I know we've talked about in an earlier podcast how to make the master stock, and
really, I probably think to a degree, and I'm not being mean here a little bit, I think to a degree you have a thought in your mind about what it actually is, and I think it's going to be different to what you think. Like
probably,
yeah. So I think your understanding of master stocks, or a master stock, a Chinese master stock, might be a bit different to what you actually see.
Okay.
So, but we'll see.
But I will go through it as a process, and I did think that in some of the things that you've done in the past with cooking with steam, they have involved quite, some of them are quite general and anyone can do them with any level of skill. Others are quite, as we've discussed, a bit more complicated, and there's a huge process and involves a lot of skill, like the cassoulet, as an example. But to me, it's a relatively, in my mind, I could be wrong, straightforward process to make our master stock.
Super easy.
Set it aside.
Yeah.
Get a chicken.
Yeah.
Poach it in, let it cool. Poach it, yes?
No. Well, you can. Okay, you can poach it in there, But because we're working in our combi steam oven, we effectively put a raw chicken into a cold master stock and just effectively kind of like brining it, or think of it like marinating
okay.
it. So we use the master stock as to marinate the chicken rather than cook the chicken in, and then we cook the chicken in the oven.
Okay.
So what I was saying to you today was that yes, we could poach our chicken in the master stock, absolutely. But what we did for this example was we just used the master stock as a flavouring agent. So think of it like a marinade. Okay? No different. Okay. So we didn't actually cook the chicken in the master stock at all. We just made the master stock, put the chicken in there raw, let it sit in the fridge overnight, and then we removed it, dried it, and then roasted it.
Okay.
So after the marinating period, that chicken didn't go anywhere near the master stock.
No, I saw it in the fridge.
Yeah.
And then, as you know, we still don't have a combi steam oven, so it'll be just roasted in the normal oven.
But that's cool.
Yeah, no, I'm cool with that because
similar technique will apply.
Yeah, this is not specific to combi steam cooking or steam cooking.
I mean,
as such.
I still think with the addition of steam, your chicken's going to be a bit better in the roasting phase. But for the preparation side of it, understanding the master stock, and either poaching or marinating your chicken within that master stock, and then roasting it in the oven, fine.
Yeah, if you don't
you're still going to get a really good result.
And for those listeners who don't have a combi steam oven, this is a great recipe that can give you a wow, because that chicken today was wow.
Yeah, it's good.
And I've had great chicken from you, like really great super moist flavouring chicken, but this was wow.
Yeah, and this is what we were asked. So, to anyone out there, like, let us know if you want. Set us a challenge. That's kind of what our friend Ray did, was he set us a challenge. So set us a challenge. Let us know. info@Cooking with Steam. Send us an email. Let us know what you want to see. We're not going to be able to do it immediately all the time, but we will get to it. And if there's something specific that you want to see, if we can't do it, we'll tell you why we can't. As an example, someone contacted me and said, I want to do a souffle. Okay, we can teach someone how to do a souffle, that's easy enough, but a combi steam oven isn't going to help you with a souffle at all. No part of it. A twice cooked cheese souffle, yes, but a dessert souffle, no. And there are various reasons for that. So while we can give you a souffle recipe or a souffle tutorial, it's not really for a combi steam oven, but we could certainly do that. So just let us know what you want to know. Yeah. It seems as though, and we've been talking about this as a small business, seems as though these sorts of things are maybe having a little bit more impact, and maybe we're trying to do some more of them. Although they take a little bit more time, we're trying to do some more of those sort of tutorial where you understand the whys as to, and the reasoning as to why we do it like that, or why the technique is done like that, and fully explaining the whole thing.
Yeah, and that beef tenderloin tutorial, I think, absolutely says that. So, I'm looking forward to this one. But we've noticed that the more of the requests we're getting aren't so much about making a muffin or making a something. It is specific to a process now, a technique, which is great.
Yeah,
because you are all over that. Well, you're all over that.
Well, and that's the side of cooking that I particularly enjoy, is not only like making a dish or making a roast chicken. I like doing a roast chicken just as much as anyone else, but the process behind getting perfection in a roast chicken, no matter how good your oven is, if you don't start with the preparation beforehand, no matter how good your oven is, no matter how good your timing is, prior preparation prevents, we know.
Yes. Yes.
Poor performance.
Well, I thought it was interesting that Larry came to you with roast pork, because it was front and centre in your mind after talking to me about what we did wrong with our roast pork. And as a small note, Dougie wants roast pork again this weekend. Yeah. So he just rang me before and he said, right, I've got the pork and it's on a plate and there's nothing on top. Is that right?
Correct.
And I said, yes. I'll check with the big fella and ask him, but as far as I know, Dougie, excellent. So
tick for Doug.
Yes, and we're looking forward to scoring.
So now the pressure's on.
Yeah, now the pressure's back on me.
Yeah.
But that's all right. I'm happy to give it a go, because even when you stuff up something like roast pork, it's still super tasty.
Yeah, but we talked about that recently too. It's about learning sometimes that when you do make a mistake, I think that was our last podcast, wasn't it? Yeah. When you do make a mistake, maybe just consider it not a mistake. Maybe you can consider changing the dish. If the roast pork doesn't work, and maybe it's not the perfect roast pork, there's no reason why it can't be a warm pork salad.
No, that's right, but I didn't actually post that one on Monday. On Wednesday,
what is going on in this joint?
Well,
seriously. Okay, so I come in first thing early Monday morning before I start work after the disappointment of not seeing a Friday from the Kitchen podcast go up. The sheer disappointment, and then you can't even be bothered.
No,
what is your role here?
Very little. It's taken you a while to figure that out, but you had one in the bank, which we'd recorded earlier.
So I'm talking about something that people don't know about because you haven't done your job.
But I might post an extra one over the weekend. But okay. I did have one that we had talked about earlier. We had recorded earlier.
Which was what?
Paul, that was on Wednesday. Today's Friday.
It's Friday. Okay, sorry.
But it was one that I thought was probably timely as well. And so I posted that one, but I'm more than happy to post the one that we did on Monday. Because that was good. That was about the roast pork. We've been talking about it. Oh, no.
Make them wait some more.
Lordy. And then we'll do another one, fresh one on Monday.
Yeah.
Yay. Well, and what are you doing this weekend, cooking-wise, Mr. Paul?
I've got a lamb shoulder there, which I'm going to be playing with. I was hoping, I've got a new fancy barbecue / grill / thing.
Is it working yet?
That's a conversation for another day. But so I was hoping I might be able to play with that, but it's looking unlikely at this stage. So I might shift my thinking around that. What else have I got there? Well, because we're into lockdown again, and the advice is just don't go anywhere. It'll be siphoning through the pantry and seeing what I can bake with the little fella, because he doesn't mind once he gets into it doing a bit of baking. So we might make some cupcakes or muffins, or
super
pie
easy little
clits.
thing. Pie clits are good for kids,
stuff like that, which he can get into. So we'll do a bit of that. I was actually going to go back to the brining table, and I was going to do brine chicken wings.
Oh.
And see, what sort of what that would give me. But again, sometimes not practical in your fridge at home because you need a lot of space. But nonetheless, because chicken wings are delicious. But I just thought, why not chuck them on the... But again, they were planned for the barbecue as well. So I just need to do a bit of what's the it word? I need to pivot.
Oh, pivot. Yes, pivot's a good one. But and I think the weather tomorrow is turning...
Oh, don't say that.
No, I think it's not good barbecue weather tomorrow. I think it's raining.
Oh, I don't want that anyway.
I don't mind cold, but rain.
Oh, that sucks.
It's really not good in an open backyard like yours to have a barbecue.
Yeah. But I would. I'd stand out there in the rain.
With a big umbrella, I know.
No, without.
Without the umbrella,
you just stand out there. Why not?
Such is lockdown.
Yeah, but give me a brand new cooking toy. It could be like
shiny,
lightning,
shiny, isn't
like
it?
thunder, torrential downpour. New cooking toy, and if it was an outside only one, I'd be out there. Yeah, but nonetheless, it doesn't look like that's going to come to fruition. But
you can't turn it on. It's a bit of a moot point, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but we'll push on. We'll get there eventually with that. And the only other thing that's sort of on the radar is because we've got another 6 weeks of this lockdown.
Yes.
There's been a bit of talk around the house of doing some more painting. So not really cooking related, but nonetheless.
No, but things to do.
Get the paint.
But this is a good time to, as I said earlier, invest in some skills. And if it's fixing up the house or it's getting ready, looking at doing some research. I was posting demonstrations, what to take, what to do.
Well, that's...
Because I think people
Victoria
are looking...
now, that's a bit...
Well, and maybe for some of around the world. But I think it was an important one because people are looking at what they're getting in their house and what they need to update, and there's a lot more.
I mean, end of
there's
tax,
great specials on
end
at
of
the
the
moment.
financial year.
Everyone
you'd be
around
all over
the
that.
world. Oh, don't get me started. But all around the world, people are trying to sell because everyone's hurting. Every business around the world is hurting. So if you are looking at maybe doing something in your kitchen or your house, this is a good time to look for some specials and take advantage of it if you can afford it. And I think this is a great time. As I said earlier, again, invest in some skills for cooking.
Why
and
not?
try something different.
Yeah, and listen to some podcasts from people who post them on a consistent basis. Anyway, that's enough for today.
Well, you have a great weekend, everybody listening, and happy cooking, and good luck with what you do attempt to cook.
And enjoy the Friday from the Kitchen podcast, which actually came out on Friday this week.
And you enjoy every Friday it does.
Except for last Friday.
Which it didn't, because it was terrible. Okay. And it wasn't Joel, it was me. I can put my hand up and say it wasn't Joel's contribution. I was appalling. And for various reasons, I was appalling. So, not posting crap.
Not upset, I'm just disappointed. Let's leave on that
dear,
note.
Oh dear. Okay,
Happy
bye
weekend.
everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this podcast as we explore home cooking in a modern world. We'd love you to subscribe, and for more information, please go to our website, cookingwithsteam.com.